Well, good afternoon. November the 5th. And, well, the craziness continues. The craziness continues. I have several links in the description area of this video. And some will watch it, and most won't. But there's some intriguing ones. First off is an article on medical cover-ups. Medical journal cover-ups. What some high-ranking, really highly respected medical journal does. You might find that interesting. Well, then again, you might not. See, with all of this, we all live in illusions, and our illusions they intercept, coincide, collide, and we all fight fervently for what we believe to be whatever side we're on. And so we sort of blind ourselves to looking at looking at the evidence and looking at things because we just don't want our bubble pricked and what we thought was real not proven not real. And all we have to look at is how many people do you know have blue bins or blue boxes that they diligently sort their garbage out. One here, some in there, some in this one, and some in that one. You know, most people know somebody who does that. Most people watching this probably do that yourselves. And most people go to bed thinking, all that nasty trash has now magically disappeared. It's gone. And we're confident in that. We live in that illusion. Years ago, it used to be that local people collected all that stuff, sorted it out, recycled. But in the wisdom, they decided in Canada to give that to one major company. Under the auspices that, this is going to be more efficient, they know what they're doing, this is going to really work. All it was money. So anyway, we sort these, we work for this one company, sorting out all the shit for them. They're making the money, not us. We're under the illusion we're saving the planet. You know, because we watch Greta Thunberg's videos fervently and say, well, we got this young lady is right on. She's got it. We've read Al Gore's books, and yep, we've got it. We might have watched the video Michael Moore produced that everybody is taking down now. They don't want us to see it. Well, maybe you haven't, so maybe search for that one. Planet Human or whatever I think it's called. It's intriguing. So we stick to these damn illusions of the blue bin and boxes, and some of us are aware that all of that shit ended up on some third world country shores. And kids are going through that looking for whatever they can salvage to help pay for the meal for that day. But we're all comfortable with that. Crazy. That's the illusion, one of the illusions we live in. So when you look at the fact that some people are voting for a feeble-minded idiot who, with a whole lot of evidence that he's sort of really been making himself wealthy from dealing with other countries, doing shady deals. You know, half of our friends in the States actually have supposedly voted for this clown. Think about that. No, we vote for feeble-minded idiots sometimes. Under the auspices, hey, we're pretending what side we're on, and we're doing the right thing. And there's also some videos there about election fraud. And of course, people don't want to believe that. They say, no, there's no such thing as election fraud. It's interesting, up here where I live, when you're going to vote, you have scrutineers. Scrutineers are people who watch what's going on to make sure there's no skullduggery happening. They can be at throughout the polling stations. They're not in the booth when you're voting, but they're watching the procedure. But before you can vote, you have to have usually you get a voter card in the mail. And if you don't, you have to have proof of where you live. You have to have ID with picture ID, a couple of pieces if you don't have a voter card, if you're not registered. But those are people who are registered. You get a voter card in the mail, you take it on down with your ID card, your driver's license, with your mugshot or whatever. And they ask you a few questions, confirm your address. You know, somebody just drops it in and say, hey, that's me. And they say, what was your address? You know, you got to know your address. And then you sign the thing. And they give you a ballot, and you go in the corner, and not with a Sharpie. We don't use Sharpies up here. You mark your ballot with pencil or pen. Simple. Take it back, and it's processed into a box or through the machine. And we do mail in here too, and I think that's bogus. Obviously, for what they're finding stateside, why it's bogus. I think England has found the same thing, that mail-in ballots can be a little bit bogus. I might put on Nigel Farage talking about that. I'll add a link. I didn't have them on, but I'll add them to the links in the description end. France doesn't do mail-in because they realize how shady that can be. You don't want people running around with duffel bags of mail-in ballots, sneaking them in a back door of a polling station. Of course, that never happens. No, that would never happen because our elections are above board in that third world countries everybody screws around. I've got Dr. Shiva on as well in one of the links, talking about voter fraud. He's been stung twice now in Massachusetts. Actually he has had a restraining order against the Secretary of State of Massachusetts for helping to block his Twitter account. And he's got a $1 billion+ lawsuit against them for interfering with his rights as a citizen. Be interesting how that goes. But anyway, all the links are there. You can watch them or not. And, you know, some of us do, and some of us question, and some of us wonder, and some say, what's the point? There's no use to do that. We just go along and accept whatever. And I think I have a note from the Archbishop Vigano out of Italy there as well. I think I posted him before his open letter to Trump. Most people don't read that kind of stuff because he's an archbishop, but it's interesting. I mean, he had a hand in, I think, shining a light at some skullduggery going on in the Vatican finances, and is at odds with some of the hierarchy because they're, you know, he doesn't like some of the things that the Vatican is doing. But his note there is sort of intriguing, as was his open letter. Another thing I've noticed, got a report via Martin Armstrong that some police in Italy are actually joining the protesters. They're not just going out and following orders and banging heads. They're agreeing with protesters. And if that's true, because I haven't been there to see it myself, it's refreshing that police will finally realize that this big bamboozle that's going on, this one world government that's going on, we're trying to herd everybody into one, is sort of crazy. And it's good to see that some law enforcement officers are recognizing that fact. But anyway, I guess that's about all for now. It's cover-ups, stings and steals and frauds. That's what we're about today. No matter what side you're standing on, it's worth sort of digging through the information and not worrying whether your bubble gets pricked or not. Your illusionary bubble gets pricked, but isn't it nice to know what the truth is, or what the facts may lead to? Or do we just stay in our illusion? Remember, it all started with Santa Claus. We've gone from kids to Santa Claus, we've gone to blue bins and blue boxes. Take care. Bye for now.